apply it manual by downloading Excel. Then you fill that Excel and upload. But why are you doing that one? It will take you a lot of time. And yet there is a two option. So you can use the online form, which is very faster. You just select the taxpayer type. Okay, select taxpayer type. Let's start with the individual before we come to a company and individual. So if you select individual, then you get the mode of registration. The mode of registration here is online form. So don't do upload form. If you click upload form, then it will take you to the where you need to download another form. So just use the online form, then click next. Okay, so ukisha click next, then we get this basic information. So the basic information is just simple. It will ask you, are you a citizen or non-citizen? Yes, it is a citizen. Do you want to register a digital service tax? No. And then do you want to register turnover tax? No. Then on the side of employee profession, then you need to indicate your major group. So let's say profession. So our profession, we can select minor group. It's not picking. So sometimes these iTax not more effective. So these features, it's normally sometimes it fails. So that is the, if maybe in a employee provision, if you select the provision, then in a minor group, you can select accountant, subgroup, either finance. Then here, you make sure you put the ID, So once you put the ID, original ID, you don't need to put the issue date and the issue of place. You just put the ID number. It will populate the rest of the information. Again, under the individual data, you need to put the exact date of birth. If you put exact date of birth, it will populate the first name, the second name, the marital status, all this information. So you are not the one who is going to fill in this information. What you need to do is just to indicate the correct date of birth. So once you have done that, it will populate the remaining features. Then we are now done with the basic information. So you go to obligation. So basically the obvious one, when you're registering a PIN for an individual, the main obligation is for the income tax, which is a resident. So the main, even before you can come later and amend your PIN, then the first obligation is the income tax. So you select the income tax, and then the date of registration, you put the date of the registration. If we are registering this PIN today, then I need to put the date as of now. So don't put the future or the past date. Just put the date of registration, because that's when the income tax will start now accrue. So even when you're filing your returns, let's say you want to file, you are filing the return of the last year. So if you are filing the return of the last year, remember the last year government financial period start from 1st July, 30th July 2021 to 30th June 2022. So you will not put that figure. If your PIN was there before that financial year, then you can put. But if you register your PIN, maybe you register your PIN last year December, then you will be using that date. That's why it is very important to note the date of registration. This turnover here, it is not for individual. Then the source of income, you can select it is an employment, or you don't need to put the employment, because employer again will ask for the PIN. So why are you declaring him on iTax portal? So you don't need, because once the employer has filed your payee, then the KRA will notice that you are employed somewhere. So during the registration, it is not necessary to put all these employment. So you just say no, Don't have the business number. Yes, no. You don't have the rental. No. Because when you apply for this rental PIN, all this one, it will ask you for your personal PIN. So you don't need to repeat yourself. Then here, you don't need to put anything. You don't need to put anything here. Don't need to put anything here because we have not yet issued for the PIN. We are applying this PIN for the first time. We are applying this PIN for the first time. So once you have done that, you put these arithmetic figures. So maybe 38 minus that one, you put the arithmetic figures, you submit. Once you submit, it will give you acknowledgement